Another burst of severe thunderstorms has passed through Queensland, sparking some fears of a return to last summer as rivers begin to reach flood levels. The storms mostly hit central Queensland early on Monday morning, with up to 100 millimetres falling in some areas, while winds gusted up to 100 kilometres an hour at Rockhampton Airport. Now, the heavy rain has caused the Boyne and Dawson rivers to reach minor flood levels. But the stormy weather is now out in the Tasman. It's heading towards New Zealand, while a high rolls in south of Queensland over Victoria and parts of New South Wales. And this will feed an easterly wind into Queensland for the rest of the week. We do have a few more thunderstorms and some rain in the forecast, but firstly, let's go to the national maps and we'll see what the current setup is like across Australia. And satellite-wise, we can see not a lot of cloud actually for the eastern side. Most of it now out to sea. This is the low that just formed off the New South Wales coast in the last 24 hours and is pushing a big front east out away from our coastline. To the north, we do see a few heavy showers and thunderstorms, the usual sort of stuff we'd see at this time of the year. But we do have a low out here over Western Australia that is bringing in some rain, and the wind flow there coming in as an easterly thanks to a high that's just south of the country there. So overall, mostly clear skies. Temperature-wise, it's looking like a hot day on Tuesday. Very hot, in fact. These purple blobs, 40 degrees you'll be seeing there. And so for some parts of Queensland, that's certainly what we're going to be seeing inland. Very high temperatures, well into the 30s all along there. And look, even towards the coastline, we're seeing those temperatures bounce right up. Different story in the south, a bit cooler, and that's all thanks to that high down here, bringing in those east to southeast winds flowing through that area. And as we go to the wind map now, dark blue indicates light winds, and the reds and yellows and golds, they indicate strong winds. So you can quite clearly see the low on this map, which is out here in the Tasman, as I say, heading towards New Zealand. But for Queensland, winds mostly light. Nice change after those gusty winds on Sunday night and Monday morning. And we can also see those easterly winds here just on the northern side of that long, stretched out high, very unusual shaped one, just south of Aussie there, and that's pushing in through western areas. So overall, a very calm day really for Tuesday across the country. And the national rain map, again, just backs up what I said. Those rain clouds are forming around some parts of Western Australia near Perth. That's where the low is centred. It's a very small low. It's not going to go far. It's got this big high trapping it on all corners. And again, some thunder activity up here in the north and a couple of little showers just down around Victoria. All right, let's go on into Queensland now and see what your week is looking like. And rain-wise, well, not too bad, but we do see some showers popping up on Wednesday, mostly in southern parts of Brisbane, going down towards New South Wales. I think in Brisbane you'll see a few heavy showers. There is a possibility of a thunderstorm in the mix as well. Overall, though, not looking as bad as it was the other day, that's for sure. And there could be just a couple of isolated showers in the midsection. For the top, just the usual tropical rains coming on through there. Here's the active front, though. That's the one that brought those thunderstorms the other day. It's moving out east and has weakened quite a lot. On Thursday, the high that I just mentioned before, down south over New South Wales, that is still there. And the wind flow we see here is an easterly coming in through here. So it's bringing in a fair bit of humid, warm air, but not as hot, perhaps, because it's not coming in from the subtropics. It's really coming in from, or from the tropics, I should say. It's coming in from the east. Heavy showers, though, pop up inland because of that easterly. So it pushes in that warm sea air, goes over the main ranges, and once it gets inland with that extra hot air that we've been seeing the last few days, it's going to make some very heavy showers popping right up the main ranges all the way north to south. Watch out for that. There could be severe thunderstorms as well as flash flooding. So keep up to date with the latest bomb weather warnings, because there are likely to be some, I would say, as we get into Thursday with that activity there. On Friday, it's a similar story actually. The easterly flow continues from the sea, pushing on through, producing these heavy inland showers all over the place, right through into the interior. So there, again, watch out for severe thunderstorm warnings. Temperature-wise, we'll be looking at highs in the mid to late 30s again, plus you've got that humidity coming in with it. But if you live right along the coastline, probably not too bad actually. A lot of those clouds and showers, they're developing inland over the ranges once that sea breeze pushes in. So if you live on the coast, it's looking fairly dry as we go through towards the end of the week, apart from perhaps a couple of isolated showers around Cairns and northwards. And it does stay a bit like that as we head towards Saturday, going to the weekend. Look at these big thunderstorms popping up in the middle here though, and they will gradually be shifting eastwards as these easterly winds do the same thing. Everything is sort of gradually shifting eastwards out towards the Coral and Tasman Sea. So we'll be monitoring that as it does so. And on Sunday, again, heavy showers in the north. It's really like Groundhog Day as we see those easterlies continue to fire on in. The temperatures will be fairly hot or high down in southern parts of Queensland, where we see more of a northerly coming in here. And so expect some pretty hot, dry weather. hotter and drier weather for most other places on Sunday as well as things start to ease. As we go to next Monday now, these are our wind maps. They tell us where the winds are. The colours that you see down here, those indicate the strong winds. If you don't see any colour, well, there's no wind. So we're looking at a very light day on Monday next week. Light winds mostly in control. We see really a fair bit of high air pressure from the Tasman Sea that is pushing back against it. Very light easterly wind there. It's not much of a strong wind at all. And I think the chance of showers fairly reduced there. On Tuesday, things might change a wee bit. We start to see the isobars tilting a little bit more northeasterly. And you know what that means? They get a little bit more humid. So we'll be seeing slightly more humid weather coming up on Tuesday for Queensland along that coastal line. And one more look now as we go back to Tuesday. We're having a look now at our forecast for tomorrow. We can see just a few clouds up here could be producing some heavy showers in the north and a few little thunderstorms just off the coastline there. Otherwise, it is dry and hot for Tuesday. To your forecast for Tuesday now, and the forecast is looking a lot drier despite the risk of a few thunderstorms along the coast. Most of those thunderstorms will be isolated right along the eastern coastline, and they're unlikely to be forming north of about Cairns. They may form a little bit inland as well, mostly just to the eastern side of the ranges. Once you go further west beyond those ranges, we're talking about very hot and very dry weather. Temperature-wise, it's a scorcher inland west of the ranges. Highs mostly in the 30s, late 30s that is, and even 40s up here in the northwest. Elsewhere, highs along the coastline, well, they'll go from 30 degrees around Brisbane up to the mid-30s further north. So it's a very hot day on the way for Tuesday. That's all from me. We'll catch you next time.